Hi, my name is Simone, and today I am excited to be reading Give and Take by Raschka to you. Okay, so what do we think this book is going to be about? Give and take. Okay, let's look at the cover. So, there's these two little people. One's just in all white, one's just in all black. Okay, give and take. So the two people are on this man, and they're inside of his hair, it looks like. So give and take, I think that it's going to be about whether or not you should be generous and give everything that you have, or if you should take things because, well, obviously you'll be getting the stuff that you want. What are your predictions, or what do you think is going to happen in this book? So, also, who's the author? Who wrote it? Okay, right here it says that Raschka is the author, and his name is in orange right there. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so again, here are these two little characters. So they're probably going to be coming a lot in the story. Okay, so they don't seem to be getting along, do they? They're kind of like fighting with each other, just teasing each other. They're not the best of friends. Okay, this is what is called the title page. The title page is basically an extension of the front cover, and it just gives you a little bit more information about the book you're about to be reading. Look at all these nice colors. It's really, it's an interesting abstract style of art. Okay, for RJ. So that just means that the author wrote this for whomever RJ is. Every morning, a farmer said to his dog, "Let us inspect the apples." The farmer put on his hat and coat, and with a large basket on his back, he left his house by the garden gate, proceeding along a soft path to the orchard. Okay, so here is our farmer, and this seems to be where he lives, and he has a dog and a small little mouse. Okay, so he has his clothing here, his boots, different cooking stuff, so this definitely seems to be his house. Okay, here's an interesting word, orchard. What does that mean? So an orchard is where apple trees are and where apples are grown. So if he's a farmer, he most likely is an apple farmer. Okay, let's see if we can remember that word, orchard. So it's an apple farm. Okay, shall we continue? "Aha," said the farmer, "beneath the oldest of the apple trees, the first apples are ripe. Let us pick them." He placed his basket at the base of the old tree and filled it with beautiful, rich red apples. Ooh, look at all those pretty apples. They're such vibrant or colorful and vivid colors of red, different shades. Do you like apples? I do. I think that they're really yummy and tasty and sweet. Oh, look, his dog's still following him around, even in the orchard. Okay, let's continue. Now, as he placed the very last apple on top of the basket, a tiny little man leaped out at him from the bushes. "Great Granny Smith," said the farmer, "who are you?" Okay, let's see. This seems to be the person, the little man who jumped out at him. He looks familiar, doesn't he? He was on the cover page, wasn't he? Okay, so he's all dressed in black. Okay, let's see if we can learn anything more about him. "I am Take," the little man squeaked. Okay, his name is Take. "Listen to me and your life will be fine." "But my life is fine," said the farmer. "It will be finer," said Take. So the farmer put him in the basket with the apples. Oh, look at where Take is. He's right behind his ear, like right behind his head. Would you get annoyed if there was a little guy right there next to your ear, just yapping away, just being all noisy? I might. Okay, so let's see. What does a fine life mean? Let's think of the word fine. Fine means nice, luxurious, or just a comfortable life. So you'll have a life with pleasures. Okay. On the way home, the farmer stopped at the house of his neighbor who grew pumpkins. "Hello, old man," said the neighbor. "Hello, old woman," said the farmer. "Would you like some pumpkins?" she said. Look at all of these pumpkins. Wow. Again, these are all different orange shades of orange. Very vibrant. Do you like pumpkins? Do you like them as much as you do apples? Okay, now Take leaned forward and whispered in the farmer's ear. "Take them. Take all of them. Take as many as you see." Take seems to be a little greedy, doesn't he? He just wants everything that his eyes can see. So greed. That's kind of what Take is acting like right now. Greedy. Okay. So here we can see Take whispering into the farmer's ear. I'll take all of them, said the farmer, dumping his apples out. The farmer loaded his basket with pumpkins. So he's trading all of his apples that he just worked long and hard for picking them for all of these nice pumpkins. Would you make that trade, or would you keep your apples? If you'll take my advice, said the old woman, you'll make pumpkin soup. Have you ever had pumpkin soup? Did you like it? Would you recommend it? Because sometimes you like something, but you might not want to have your friends eat it. Would you? Take her advice. Take all of it, said Take. Thanking her, the farmer went on his way. He said, now what? We take a hike. We take as much as we can, said the little man. Wow, look at the poor farmer. He looks very tired, doesn't he? He looks exhausted. He has all of those pumpkins on his back and Take. Do you think he'd be able to carry that much? I don't think so, especially if I were on a hike. For the rest of the day, the farmer walked, the basket of pumpkins seeming to grow heavier and heavier with every step, until at last he went home. Wearily. What does that word mean? Okay, wearily means tiredly. So, wearily or tiredly, he took the pumpkins out and then peeled and chopped and cooked them until he had gallons and gallons of pumpkin soup. How much is a gallon? So a gallon is a measurement of liquids, and it's basically the size of a milk jug. If you picture going into your fridge, seeing that huge container of milk, that's usually going to be a gallon of milk. So that's a lot, right? And gallons of pumpkin soup. Would you be able to eat all of that? I don't think I'd be able to. The farmer, stiff and sore, sat on his kitchen chair and thought, I don't like pumpkin soup. It's too stringy. I wish I had an apple. Oh, he's starting to regret making his trade, not keeping his apples. Do you think you'd regret it? I think I would. I would also on an apple, I think. He offered the pumpkin soup to his dog, who also didn't want it either, and went to bed. Oh, look at that. Okay, so there's the farmer in his bed at the bottom right, and he's sleeping with his dog, isn't he? That's cute. Do you have a dog? Do you sleep with him or her? I have a dog. Her name's Riley. She's super cute and awesome. Okay. The next morning, the farmer found Take asleep in the basket. Out, said the farmer. Oh, let's look at Tate. Okay. Oh, he's all droopy and sad. His eyes are closed and he has a frown. So he doesn't look very happy, does he? If you were Tate, do you think you'd enjoy that? Being kicked out of the farmer's home? I don't think I'd be. I'd feel a little sad. Let us inspect the apples, said the farmer to his dog. Beneath the tallest tree, the farmer said, Ah, heavenly apples, and more are ripe. Again, he filled his basket. Okay, there's his hat. So earlier when we looked at his room, we saw all of his different clothing. Have you been able to spot different things that we found in his room throughout the story? Let's see. Okay, well, for starters, his dog, which has been with him the entire time, and also his clothing. Let's see if we can spot anything else along the way. Just then, a tiny little man dropped out of the branches. Muttering Mutsus, said the farmer. Who are you? Oh, so it's not Take. Okay, let's try to figure out who it is. Okay, so this person looks similar to Take, but he's not dressed in all black. He's dressed in all white this time, excuse me. Okay, he also looks familiar. He was also on the cover page. Okay, so if the title of the book is Give and Take, and the other person was Take, could this be Give? Let's find out. I am Give. We were right. Okay. So, I am Give, said the tiny man. If you will listen to me, your life will be sweet. My life is sweet already, said the farmer. It will be sweeter, said Give. Once more, the farmer agreed, allowing Give to sit in the basket behind his ear. Oh, see, he's behind his ear. He's behind his ear again. I don't think I'd be okay with that. They're just, too much noise. Seems like a headache waiting to happen. On the way home, they stopped at the house of another neighbor, a pig farmer. My pigs would surely love to eat those apples, said the pig farmer. Wow, look at all those pigs. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, on the next page there's 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 pigs? That's a lot of pigs. Good thing that he just farmed all those apples so that he can give them. Would you be able to give all your apples to the pigs, or do you think you'd want some? Especially after not being able to have any yesterday. The tiny man whispered, "Give him your apples! Give away everything you have!" So the farmer gave away all his apples. Okay, here we see give whispering into the farmer's ear, telling him to give away all of his stuff. "Now, give him your opinions," said the tiny man. "Give away all that you have." So the farmer shared every thought he could find in his head. He expounded on apples, apple trees, apple seeds, clouds, worms, stones, dirt, toenails, beards, and lint. He was about to air his thoughts on roof shingles when he found the pig farmer had walked away. If you were the pig farmer, do you think he would have walked away too? I mean, if you're talking about beards and lint, those aren't exactly the most entertaining topics in the world. Okay, here's another interesting word. Expounded. That's a really big word. Do you know what it means? Okay, let's figure this out. So he's expounding. Okay, so he's giving his opinions. Okay, let's say, okay, so we think that expounded means that he explained his ideas. Okay, well, if you thought that, you would be correct. Expounded means in detail, giving your ideas or explaining something. Okay, so let's try to remember expounded. So it means to, in detail, share your ideas. With no one to talk to, the farmer went home with nothing in his basket and nothing in his head, and sat down at the kitchen table until it grew dark outside. Bored and hungry, the farmer went to bed. He's sleeping with his dog again. That's really cute. The next morning, the farmer found Gib curled up and snoring in the basket. "Out," said the farmer. Okay, so Tate didn't like this, did he? So let's see how Gib reacts to this. Okay, Gib, he doesn't like it too much either. He's all droopy and frowning and sad too. What if you were Gib? Do you think you'd also not like it, or would you actually be happy to get out of there? I don't think I'd like to get out. I think I would want to be with the farmer. He seems pretty nice, doesn't he? "Let us go inspect the apples," said the farmer to his dog, as he added the last apple to his basket beneath the greenest tree in the orchard. He heard a noise. Ooh, orchard. Do we remember what that means? Okay, let's think back. Oh wait, did you remember? Orchard is a farm where apples are grown. So there's a bunch of apple trees everywhere. Okay, also a noise. What do you think that's going to be? Do you think it's one of the neighbor's pigs oinking away and just creating a whole commotion? Do you think that maybe the other neighbor's pumpkins rolled away and crashed into something? Let's find out by keep reading. The two little men were wrestling in the long grass, arguing loudly about who was greater, Give or Take. Sometimes Give was on top and Take was on bottom, and sometimes it was the other way around. Okay, that's interesting. Sometimes Give was more skilled in the fighting, so better than Take, and sometimes it was vice versa, or the other way around, and Take was better than Give. Interesting. Seeing them gave the farmer an idea. He grabbed both of the tiny little men by their collars and put them on top of his apples. Oh look, they're behind his ear again. And now they're fighting too. Man, that really is just going to cause that poor old farmer a headache, isn't it? Here's another interesting word. Collars. Okay, let's think about when we've heard this word before. Collars. Okay, first thing that comes to my mind is clothing. So a collar in clothing is the part around your neck. And another thing that comes to mind is the collarbone, which is also near your neck. So if the farmer grabbed the tiny little men by their collars, he probably grabbed them by their clothing out around their neck. Okay. Let's see. Do we recognize anything else from his house? Again, his clothing, his basket, and his boots, and his dog. Let's keep our eyes on the lookout. Passing the pumpkins and the pigs, the farmer stopped at the miller's mill. Do you know what a mill is? Okay, So a mill is where different grains like wheat and barley are ground up to be turned into flour for baking. And not flour like the ones you plant in the garden. It's something that you use for food so that things can stay together and just not be a whole big mess. Oh, and a miller is the person who grinds all of these grains. So passing the pumpkins and the pigs, the farmer stopped at the miller's mill. In the basket, the little men shouted at each other and into the farmer's ear. Take is better, give is better. Take, give, take. The farmer greeted the miller and said, May I give you some of my apples and take some of your flour? Fine, said the miller. Let me give you some advice, said the farmer. Make applesauce. Let me take my advice, said the miller. Make dough. Do we remember what miller means? Yeah, it's the person who grinds up grains. Good job. Okay, so let's look at these pictures. They're very vibrant, vivid, and colorful. So we have our pumpkins and our pigs that we're passing by. And then here are give and take. So their mouths are wide open, so they're probably yelling at each other. Poor old farmer, right? I don't think I'd appreciate all of this noise going on right next to my ear. Okay, on the next page, we see the farmer with his apple and the miller with his flour, and they're about to make their trade. By the way, do you like this style of art? Again, it is quite an abstract and not an everyday type of art that you see. Personally, I think it's very interesting to look at, and it's an interesting take on the story. So what are your opinions? On the way home, the two little men continued to argue. Take, give, take. Hearing them gives me another idea, said the farmer. As he arrived home, the farmer took some apples for sauce and some flour for dough and put them together. He put what he had made into the oven and gave it some time to bake. Soon the farmer smelled a wonderful aroma or smell. When he peeked into the oven, he discovered something new and marvelous. What do we think this super great smelling treat is? Okay, so here on this page we have apples and we have a big pile of white flour. Okay, and we have our bowl that we're about to mix it into. And then below that we have the oven where it's already in there. Okay, so what do we think it is? It looks like kind of like a big cupcake, but you don't really make apple cupcakes. Apple and flour, what do you make with that? Let's find out. An apple pie. Oh, of course. Apple, flour, looks like a really big cupcake. Apple pie. Do you like apple pie? It's delicious. Sweet, said the farmer. This is fine. Let us eat our apple pie. Well, that's interesting. We use both sweet and fine to describe it. And remember, give is always saying how sweet life is going to be, and take is always saying how fine it's going to be. Is this the middle ground or the place where we can have a little bit of both and get the best opportunity? Let's find out. At last, exhausted from their fighting, the two little men looked at each other. Take my hand, said the one. Give me a hug, said the other. Okay, so they're making up. So now they're friends again. How do you make up with your friends? Do you give them a hug, give them a little handshake, and a high five, like give and take? I think I hug out my problems. And then the farmer, his dog, and give and take ate the apple pie. Wow, they ate that fast. You have the full pie right there and a little smaller, and then it's almost gone right here. Okay, so just to recap, give and take are now friends again, and the farmer seems to be okay with them. And they're not really in his ear being all annoying. And they just ate a pie that they made using everything that they learned from each other. Okay, so here we have give and take again. And then finally, there's more to apple picking than meets the eye or the ear. The end. Okay, so let's look at this photo. So we've already seen this photo, if you can remember, in previous pages. But this line is very interesting. There's more to apple picking than meets the eye or the ear. So than meets the eye, that's a common phrase, that makes sense. But, the ear. When were ears mentioned in this story? Let's think back. I remember. Do you? Okay, so ears were mentioned because give and take were always yelling at it. Okay, so if there's more to apple picking or just getting this really sweet, awesome food than meets the eye or meets the ear, maybe it means that, like they did to make the apple pie, you need a middle ground between giving and taking to be able to get the best opportunity. What do you think it means? Okay, let's also think back to the book. So, Give and Take by Chris Raschka. It was about these two little people, give and take. Who was your favorite character? Was it Give and Take? Was it the farmer? Was it one of the neighbors, the miller? Was it the dog? What was your favorite color picture? Did you have a favorite part of the story? Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed this book as much as I did, and I hope that you have a great day. Bye.